The leaves and twigs snap underfoot as you flee your assailants. Their hysteric shouts echo through the woods behind you, ever gaining. Your ammo's depleted, rendering your weapon nothing more than a fancy paperweight. The only backup you had is gone, dead by the hands of your pursuers. A bleak situation, no doubt, but the thick vegetation seems to clear out ahead. A chance to escape? A sudden snap and a jolt of pain in your leg override the fleeting thought of freedom. Just managing to avoid screaming, you grit your teeth and pry the steel jaws apart. This brief moment cost you dearly, as a rabid villager descends upon you. Your mind races as you struggle to break free, and suddenly you remember. Something you never thought you'd need, but tucked away for just such an occasion. Reaching down, you unsheath the boot knife. In a flash, you drive it into the side of your enemy. Its grip slackens, and you make your escape. For now. We're changing it up at the Raccoon City Gun Club today by talking about the boot knife. This iconic tool has a long history that dates back centuries, with various uses including hunting, fishing, daily tasks, and prominently self-defense. Oftentimes, this knife is employed as a sort of last-ditch weapon, meaning you've exhausted all of your other options. The typical profile for the boot knife is the pointed dagger shape, but there are some that come as tanto and other common profiles. You'll find the knife is usually mounted in several places on the person. As the name would suggest, many people would strap this knife to their boot, where it was inconspicuous, out of the way, and easily accessed should the need arise. Other areas you might see someone place the boot knife include the belt, strap of a plate carrier, or on a pack. In the Resident Evil 4 Remake, Leon can find boot knives to use as a self-defense weapon when an enemy grabs onto him. These easily overlooked weapons can prove to be vital during particularly tricky segments of the game. But is this knife modeled after a real thing, or is this just a made-up asset? Well, many boot knives look similar or take features from their predecessors. For example, the general shape of the RE4 boot knife looks a lot like this old model from the famous knife maker K-Bar. But there are a few differences. The texture on the handle, the lanyard hole at the end, and the presence of a fuller. These features are all located on a different boot knife, the Smith & Wesson HRT. Specifically, the Smith & Wesson HRT Model 9B. While there are various copies of this knife in circulation, this particular knife has been around for at least 20 years or more, meaning it could be timeline accurate for RE4. The HRT isn't what I'd call a small knife, coming in at an overall length of 9 inches. That's 4 whole inches longer than the average. Well, never mind that, but let's just say it's pretty long. The blade itself is 4 3/4 inches of that 9-inch length. The blade material is 7CR17 MOV, which is just a long name for Chinese stainless steel. It is apparently used in kitchen knives and other cutlery for its corrosion resistance. However, it is not known for being the most durable steel or holding an edge too well. That said, the knife does come out of the box fairly sharp, but I don't think you'd have an easy time getting this to the point where you could shave with it. I can say with some certainty that you would have no problem stabbing with this blade, however. The handle is a sort of rubber plastic composite material, and it honestly feels pretty good in the hand. It's not too grippy, but the palm swell and guard make for a comfortable hold. As I mentioned previously, the handle also contains this small lanyard hole to do whatever you please with. Perhaps make a paracord pull for a little extra reach? My only concern would be creating a snag point. It also comes with a nice little sheath made of leather. It has a built-in clip for quick attachment, but also a very functional thumb snap. Given all the info we just covered, I think it's fair to say that the Resident Evil 4 Remake correctly portrayed this particular knife. Looks-wise, it's dead on. Mechanically speaking, it's a specific use self-defense weapon with very limited durability. It's super cheap, it's functional, and frankly, I wouldn't mind having one on my trip to a remote European village to save the president's daughter from an evil bug cult. Short one today, but thanks for watching.